Hi guys, I'm Tony Alden, and today in this episode we are going to see how to rename and move files in Dariot Buffer. Then we are going to see how to change file permissions also in Dariot Buffer, and at the end we are going to answer Pincer's Reddit question as a bonus about a video we did last week. So let's get started. So we are in a Dariot Buffer, as we can verify by evaluating the variable measure mode, which gives us diode mode. So we are in diode mode, and the trick is to call Control X, Control Q, that call the function Dariot toggle read-only. And now we are in the W Dariot mode, where the W is for write, and we can change the name as if we were in any buffers. And when we are going to press Control C at, as you can see in the echo area when we are done, this will make the changing happen in the file system. And if we change our mind, we can abort the changing with Control C, escape. So let's do it right now. Bar, we change it to new dash bar. And now we can press Control C. This made the rename of that files effective. So now we renamed bar to new bar. So we are going to do some other thing like that in that video right now. But before we do that, I'd like to open a terminal and use a command that will print the tree of our directory every time we change something in the file system in the directory vlog. So to do that, we can use the command enter, this one that will look at the changing of the files written by find. So find will gives us all the files in the directory vlog, and here the -c is for clearing the screen, but the command that we want enter entr to run is 3 each time we do a changes in the file system that we are going to do side by side in the Dariot Buffer. So this part is not necessary for doing what we do in Dariot Buffer, but I found it just funny to see the changing happened in another buffer. So here we have the tree of our, which is flat right now in the directory vlog, and we can put it side by side the Dariot Buffer we were in before. And now we are going to do other changing, renaming. Still we stay with renaming files, and then we are going to move files around. So the great thing with the W Dariot mode is that when we do that, when we are in W Dariot mode, we can use any refactoring command or trick that we used in any other text buffer we are used to. But before we do that, we are going to do that three times. Let's say we want to call new bar old bar, and we say, oh no, I'm wrong. I don't want to call it, and I'm done with the renaming. Let's abort the changing. To do it once, this way we see that it really works. So we can do Control C, escape, and the changes have been aborted, as we can see in the echo area with the message changes aborted. So let's toggle again to W Dariot mode and say, okay, so before we have baz, foo, and bar, and maybe we want all to be prefixed with new and dash. So we can use multiple cursor. So call it new. We have it. Now we make this. We write it on the disk. Control C, and this has changed in the Dariot Buffer. But we can also see that this has changed in our terminal. So let's continue here. So we can use multiple cursor, and as we said before, we can use anything we want that we are used to refactor. So here, let's do it with, maybe we can use iEdit mode, so that we've seen in a previous video, to call it new West. Okay, perfect. So we have it. We finished the editing. This is working at the in the diode buffer and in the terminal. Let's see another command that we can use. For instance, we can use query replace regular expression. So let's call it, and now we can change to the dash B, and we are going to replace it with a B upcase. Okay, so the two matches here are what we want to replace. Exclamation, we have it. Do we want to make this happen on disk? Yes, so Control CC, www finish edit, and you can see also at the bottom that this also happened in our terminal. So here we just exhibit a free way to do that, but maybe you are other tricks to do this. It's just really to emphasize that when we are in WDarion mode, we really can do many of the editing things that we do in the text buffer. So we are done with that. Let's remove those files. Let's call it this one foo. We have it, and now comes the moment of moving files around. So we can move files in diode buffer also using WDarion with absolute path or relative path. So we are going to do free renaming. So with the file foo, so let's say the file foo, we want to call it to put it in the subdirectories of subdirectories with the path A, B, C, foo. So we can do that, Control X, Control Q, and we want it to be in this directory with the path, as we said, A/B/C/ the name of the files. And let's do Control C, and we can see, this is why why I wanted to use 3 in the terminal, because now we can see that here we've renamed we moved the file under that path. Okay, so we've done that, and here we can press enter 3 times and go to the file foo, and here, and let's go here, and we have our file foo. Let's see now that we can do it also with relative path in the other way. So using ... So Control X, Q, we are in WDarion mode, and now we want to go one up, and maybe to see it, to really see it well, call it foo. So now Control C, and we see here at the bottom that here and in the Darion buffer path, we see that it disappeared, and it has been moved in the directory vlog that we were at the beginning, and we have this tree. So let's go back here. We go up. We have the file foo, and let's do it once again with an absolute path to be sure that this works. Let's go to temporary. We maybe can call it foo or maybe bar, just to give it some name. Control C. We can see at the bottom in the echo area that the renaming has been done, but better than that, we can find the files. So temporary bar, and now we are in the, as we can see here at the top, we are in the directory /temporary bar, and we have that file that have been renamed. So we no longer need that path at the bottom. Let's go back here to our not to the not.l.org. So we've done the rename files, we've done moving files. So now let's see how does it works with changing file permission, because we can do the same thing that we was doing right now with file name. We can do it with the file permission. So let's go into that directory. We remove that directory that we no longer need. We put the terminal at the bottom. Let's just look at this, or maybe ls-l here. So we see the file, the foo.hash is not executable, and we are going to make it executable. Let's see what it does. It does almost nothing. It just print out foo. Okay, so we are going to make it works. If we try right now at the bottom to call foo to execute the script, we see something like bash, so permission denied. It's just that we want to change the permission. And here are the permission for the user. Here we have the user, then we have the group, and then we add other. So if we try to do that directly, this won't work, because by default, so let's go into the not, and we can look at that variable. So let's look at w.dariod allow to change permission is nil, and we have to make it true. So if non-nil, the permission bits of the file are editable. We can read there that if true, to change the single bit, put the cursor over it and press the space bar or left click. You can also hit the letter you want to set. So let's do that. So we are here. So first we copy this one. We are in the echo area in the mini buffer at the bottom. We are going to set that variable to true to be able to use that feature of w.dariod. We do that, and now we can press Ctrl X, Ctrl Q. We are again in w.dariod mode, and we can go there, and we can here do the thing that we want. So now we are going to make it executable for the user. So we can either press X or space. Let's press X. So this will make it executable. We continue here. We press R to just for the group. We let the group with read access. Let's dash to. We don't want the group to have a write access. Let's go now to the other than group and user, and let's say that we don't want we remove all their permission. So here are the new permission for the files foo.hash.sh, and now if we press Ctrl C, so let's do that, and the changing add happen. We can go at the bottom, we press ls-l, and as we add the color, you can see that foo is different because this is just the color that I have for the executable files, and now we can call it and it works. So here we've seen, so let's go now to not. So we've done rename files, move files, change file permission. So the thing that must be remember are the things that are here that I will copy there. So here are the commands: dariod toggle read only, Ctrl C w.dariod finish edit, Ctrl C escape is w.dariod abort changing. So the video, we've terminated the part really about Dariod. We are now, as a bonus answer to the question of pincels, and let's have just a little bit more fun for the end of the video. So here we were, how will you do this without multiple cursors? So we are going to give some context right now, but the thing is that we were changing in the occur buffer some names only for the name that have an even number in it. So we did it with multiple cursor just to show that we can do whatever we want to edit that buffer. And we have a suggestion from _viz_ either with keyboard macro or using control meta percent that is I think bound to query replace regular expression with the default binding. So this is, I'm not using the default binding, but what counts is the function that we call. So we are going to do that. So let's go back here. We no longer need foo sh, so we removed it. And first, to give to have some files to play with, we are going to call for. So at the bottom, so I'm sorry, I will do it again. Now we need 20 files named foo00, foo01, foo02 to do some tricks. So we are going to create them with bash. So we can, with meta !smart shell command. So now at the bottom we have a shell where we can do something. So we do a for AI in 00, and we go to 20, and we just want to create those files. So we are going to call the file foo, the variable i.txt, and we are done. We do that, and we have our 25. And just to show what we did last time, it's not in the direct buffer, but we were picking the even number here, and the name with the even number we put foo-even 00 using multiple cursor. So let's do it with multiple cursor, and then we do it with query replace regular expression. So here we pressed Ctrl X, Ctrl Q, so we are again in W mode, and let's say here we have, so we go there, and we are in the even. Let's start here, even, and so we can do that with multiple cursor. So it might be a little bit tedious, but when we want to do a quick thing with a little number of 5, I really appreciate this mouse command that is really handy. So now we can write whatever we want. We quit the multiple cursor. We press Ctrl C as we did from the beginning of the video, and we have renamed the files that were only even, that contain only even numbers. So now we are going to do that with a query replace regular expression. So we first we do that again, and we remove that. We are okay, and we are in the other states that we were at the beginning. So we are in the diode mode, and what we can do is to do with query replace regular expression when we use so let's go to the scratch buffer. When in the replacement we use backslash comma, here we can use any form, Lisp form that we want to execute. Now something that we are going to use to play directly here. So mod 1, 2, better mod 1, 2 here, this return 1, and for us, as we want an even number, this is great because we are going just to use that, which is 0. Now another function, I just give you some functions that we can play with in a Lisp buffer, just to if you never used them. So 0p check if a number is 0 or not. We have true, and we can do it again. 0p the 1, this return nil. So we are going to use that. What can we use as we are going to match a string? We need a way to cast them to number. So let's see if this is going to work for us. So this one, okay, so we evaluate, it gives us 0. If we have this one with 1, it gives us a 1, and we can go on. So this is the free function that we want. This is something specific to query replace regular expression, and in the first part of the matches of query regular expression, then we can use this one, which is for all the matches, or we can use \1 for the first match, \2 for the second match of the sub-expression of the expression that we match. So let's go back to our diode repository, and let's see if we can do it in one shot and don't make a mistake. So query replace regular expression, as you can see, we can't do that. I was going to tell you two things. One, I'm not using the default binding, but the other is that I try to do something in a buffer that is read-only. So before doing that, we have to call again Ctrl X, Ctrl Q for diode toggle read only. And now let's use that query replace regular expression, and now we want to match. Okay, let's say we want to match the first part foo dash, and then we want the match here. We have another match which is going to be the number, and at the end we have let's do the end is .txt because they are all in .t. Now we have to put backslash. This is the thing. We have the match with the two sub-expression. We are good, and now we want to evaluate a form. The form is this one. This is a if, because we want to check if something is an even number. So 0p of mod the second match with, because the second sub-expression is the number, but we can't use it as is because we have to cast it to string to number, and we cast it to a number. So this is the second. We close the first one. Modulo 2. We are checking for a pair number. We check if it is 0p. So if it is 0, we are at the even number, and now we have to pass. So concat. What do we want? We want to concat the first part of the name, which is we match this with this one, the first sub-expression. Now we give it yes, we want to write even dash. Now we want the number, so this is the second sub-expression as a string, so we don't have to cast it. Now at the end we can just do this, because this is a simple case and we don't have any other extension in that buffer, either only the not.org. We close the concat. If this is not an even number, we passed it, we return the match of the whole expression which is a foo, for instance, foo-o1.txt, and we closed, and this should work. So everything has been matched, and if we press exclamation to do it for the whole buffer, we should see something that is what we want to do. We see here we have even, the even number, here also here, and now if we end the changing by finishing them with Ctrl+C, this will be done on the file system. So let's do it, Ctrl+C, and we have renamed only the name that had an even number that contained an even number in their name. So that's it for that's it. Let's go back to this, check it, because it's always satisfying to check things. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Pencil, I hope this clarify your question. If you have more question, please reach out. It's always a good way for me to learn maybe new things, to look for answers that I didn't know, and to share them with you. And as the quote says, it's if you have a question, maybe you are not the only one with that question. So see you next time.